Sterling Holmes of Fansided and Stacking the Box, joined now by a man who won an MVP at the running back position. I know for a lot of you younger listeners, yes, an MVP at running back. That's how dominant he was. Shaun Alexander. Shaun, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I am doing very, very well. And I know you're partnered with a really cool thing right here. You're partnered with Stand Together, helping to elevate the My Cause, My Cleats. What all you doing with this partnership here?
Stand Together is about 350 of some of the most successful businessmen, women, and philanthropic leaders in the country. And they put together, actually, it's about 850. My bad, you other 500. But they put together their time, their talents, their treasures to help tackle some of the country's biggest issues. And I met some of the people and I just love them. I love their heart. Here you got these people that have droves and droves of money, droves and droves of witty ideas that have really helped, impact our country. And yet they're giving it all to people that are really doing good with the people that might not be the greatest businessman, but are helping neighborhood communities at a high level. And I just wanted to be a part of that. And so I just came up with this cool idea of leading the perfect tripod. There's people that are doing the great work. There's people that are making the great money. And there's people that can actually influence it all. You know what I mean? So you got to have a face. Somebody's got to be the dimple of the group. So I go and I find great athletes, great entertainers, great celebrities with great hearts. And I partner them as the influencer to the people that have made great wealth with work, and also those people that are doing the great works in communities all over the country. And it's been just marvelous. And so my cause, my cleats is kicking in. NFL, this is the month of inspired change. And I'm bringing all these guys together, and we're showing like some of the great things that some of the players are doing off the field instead of just on the field.
Yeah, what would you rock on the cleats if you could now? Because now you have a little bit more ability in today's NFL to get
Yeah.
creative. Back then, you're probably getting some hefty fines. What would
Yeah.
you rock on those cleats?
Well, I helped start Cafe Momentum, which is a juvenile justice reform program that takes kids that are in juvenile, which they would call those kids throwaway because recidivism means 50% of them would go back to prison again as an adult, where the kids that go through Cafe Momentum, it's only like 8%. And it's a real honor. So we started Dallas. We have one in Atlanta and Denver are both opening up soon. Pittsburgh is now open. Hopefully Seattle is going to come in here pretty soon. But the whole goal is to put them in all 30 of the NFL cities and put a special location for all 32 teams where it's just changing how kids in the juvenile justice system are going. Back in the day, I was a kid that would go to the hospitals for children. I've always been one about helping families. When we had the Shaun Alexander Foundation, you didn't even have to give us too much of an excuse. Just tell us you were helping families and we were going to give it. We paid for rent. We did it all. And I know I loved Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I'm a mentor at heart. And it would have probably been one of those kind of organizations. But just seeing the impact you can have with your platform is always a beautiful thing to me.
Yeah. I do want to say, growing up in Kansas City, I was a massive Priest Holmes fan. Okay. Just a massive Priest Holmes fan. And the Chiefs were not quite as good when I was growing up compared to what they're doing right now. We didn't have much, okay? We weren't this team that was winning playoff games. So what did we have? We had Priest Holmes. We had the
Yeah.
record that he set when he beat Emmitt Smith's touchdown record. So that's what I had. But for
Yeah.
2 years, because Shaun, you had to come by and just break his record in '05 after he got it in '03. First and foremost, thanks for breaking my dreams as a kid. Appreciate that, Shaun. Really do appreciate that. But two, was that a goal of yours going into that season? Like, what transpired in that '05 season that everything came together?
I'm one of those kind of people that always just lays out all the goals for the year. Who's got the most touchdowns? I want that. Who's got the most yards? I want that. I've always been a person like that. Who's got the greatest game? I want that. I knew about it, and then you just start on the path. And that year was funky in all kind of ways because we started the year 2-2. and then win 11 straight. And so
Yeah.
we just caught on fire, and we had shifted from passing to audible, from from run to pass. And we audible from run to left to run to the right, and Hasselbeck he was in a rhythm of calling the plays. I had a great offensive line, and the more we ran, the better everybody played. And so it was lightning in a bottle, and it just went wonderful. And my season in my career, I want to say glory to God, but it just got better every year. But that I had 20 the year before, but that season right there, I came out of, I think it was 6 football games. I didn't play in 6 fourth quarters, and I know I didn't play in 2 halves. And so I missed about 9 quarters of football because we were just playing. So it was a weird year, even for NFL to have that many blowouts. You know what I mean? Where I missed 7 fourth quarters. It was crazy.
Which is funny because typically when you're up, you're running the football. So you think that would be the time to get the best numbers. But again, goes to show you how effective you were on the ground. And I have a theory here. I'd love to run it by you. I've workshopped this with Emmitt Smith a little bit here, and I'd love to get your thoughts, okay? Because offenses have adjusted, as we're talking about, more pass happy versus run heavy. And you're seeing defenses adjust with too high cover shell. You're seeing, 3 or 4 cornerbacks, 3 or 4 safeties on the field, less linebackers. Plus, linebackers are now getting a little lighter. They're no longer run stoppers. They're now pass coverage backers, right? So I'm sitting here going, will we see teams start going more 12 and 13 personnel? Will we see the resurgence of the running back in the NFL?
I think you have to. I think that one of the things that's just uniquely different, especially me coaching 7th grade, 9th grade. I'm about to start dipping up into high school and coaching them. You're seeing the kids that were like me that would be pretty good running backs. You know what I mean? You're seeing them now go play linebacker, or not gaining the weight that they need to go play safety, or even moving out to outside linebacker or defensive ends, because they're changing the game, how the game is played. What you're going to start seeing is those kids that would have probably been a pretty good outside linebacker go back to playing running back again. And that's been the difference, is because when they start throwing it, there was no need. You go get a smaller guy. I'm 6'1". You go get a 5'9" guy, go put him out there. Well, we do the 6'1" guy that can run like a deer. Oh, you put him in outside linebacker. Well, you're going to slowly see that guy come back to dot in the eye again. And now you're going to be like, how do we bring this guy down when everybody is smaller? Because now those guys are getting even thinner at playing outside linebacker. You just run the ball and you got that. And Derrick Henry's still messing everybody up a little bit because no one's that big, but the guy that's about the 6', 6'1", 225 guy, he's not going to go play another position and just be a good college kid. He's going to stay at tailback, and he's going to dominate, and he's going to play in the pros. And then you're going to start seeing Saquon Barkley type guys back again. Oh, wait a minute. This to go play another line. I'm sure Saquon can go play somewhere else. I'm positive, But when they're staying at tailback, you're seeing the gaudy numbers again, because now you got to have 2 or 3 DBs come and tackle him. And that's hard.
Yeah. I want to ask you a college football question here.
Mm-hmm.
Aston Jeanty or Travis Hunter for Heisman? Who you rocking with?
Whew. I think anytime you see a great running back, I want to lean towards him. But I watched Travis these last 3 weeks. I've just not seen anybody play that many plays. So if he was just spotty on offense or spotty on defense, he's a nickel guy and he just happens to pick it off, then I'd be like, oh man, no, but he's playing almost every rep the whole game, and he's dominant. He's covering half the field on defense, and he's still making plays on offense. He get in the red zone, and he's like a real threat on offense. I'm like, that's hard for me not to give the kudos to. So I'm leaning more towards Travis, just off these last 2 weeks, just me watching football.
Yeah. How cool was it for you being on the cover of Madden back in the day? Because that had to be such an incredible honor to grace. What was it, 05 or was it 06 Madden?
Oh, I was 07.
07.
Cover. So it's really wild because, I was the first guy to be on both the college football and the Madden. And so they would call me part of the royal family. It's like me, Fitzgerald, and Barry Sanders. and I was the first. So, so I get to walk in those EA things and be like, how we doing? So that's always wonderful. But I think it was like one of my little nephews that said it best. He's like, man, you were on Madden? And I said, yeah, back in '07. He was like, oh, you were pretty amazing. And I'm like, you walk by the MVP trophy every time you come to the house. And now you're just now noticing I was on Madden and now I'm important. He's like, man, I was like, okay, all right, that's how it is. So
Oh,
it carries a great honor. And I still challenge people, oh, what about the Madden curse? I'm like, look, there's 32 running backs, there's 32 quarterbacks, that's 64 guys. 50 will be hurt every year. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a curse. It's just football. You know what I mean? And so when you notice what it is, you don't make it a big deal. Like, I'd rather be on it and then get hurt than not be on it and still get hurt because that's going to be a part of football. You know what I mean? And so it's a great honor to be a part of it. And, I get a very cool parking lot if I go to the EA Sports building,
oh, that's awesome. Okay, so you get the parking lot spot. So you at least have that going, right? So you get the Madden curse, which you say doesn't exist, and you get the parking spot. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
It's a very good trade. Very good trade-off.
But before I let you go, just with Seattle here, a couple quick questions for you. One, were you surprised when Pete Carroll was let go last year, how that kind of transpired at the end? Because I know I'm here in Kansas City. We were all shocked. We were surprised by that move, but yet it's looking like it may have been the right move as Seattle. They're leading right now the NFC West. One, I guess, do you think they hold on and clinch that? But how has that kind of gone in your mind from Pete Carroll to what you're seeing now to now leading the NFC West?
My sons, I don't know if you know, we got 12 kids, my bride and I, we have 12 kids, 9 girls, 3 boys. The 3 boys only know Nick Saban and Pete Carroll. This year has been really weird for them. You know what I mean? It's been really weird. Still winning, still around high, both college and pro, but it's just been weird for them. They're like, hold on a sec, does Alabama not win every game? I'm like, hey, calm down. What's going on with Seattle? Shouldn't they be in the play? Where's Russell Wilson? He's a Steeler? I'm like, so it's been really wild. But I would say with Pete, no one wants to leave. No one does. And that's why he was such a great competitor and such a great leader and such a great coach. But this is also why you have GMs and owners and presidents to make those hard decisions. And so for me, I'm Seattle through and through. I didn't want to leave Seattle when they made me leave. You know what I'm saying? And so you just know it's a part of it. I was shocked. I wasn't shocked that Pete didn't want to go, but I was shocked when it went. But you hire people to make those tough decisions. You know what I mean? And so that's just a part of it. I think Pete was amazing. I think that he is one of the greatest coaches. And, from what he was doing in New England, I mean, you think about New England, he sat in between Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Come on now. That's why he only got him, but they were in the Super Bowl with New England, then he goes to USC and then he comes on back to Seattle and wins us a Super Bowl. We will love him forever for what he's done. And once again, there's no way to let go of a legend. You know what I mean? And I tell you, watching it and then also experiencing it, it's hard, But I think that Seattle's going to be Seattle, and they're going to be, the culture set. We're going to win. We're going to win games. We're going to be dominant in the division, and we're going to always run the ball and put up big defensive stands. And it's just going to be Seattle football.
Again, as I sit here in KC, I hope we see Seattle in the Super Bowl. That would be an old AFC West, old AFC West rivalry right there. MVP, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, all-around great dude, great partnership again that he has with Stand Together, as well as a great partnership with My Cause, My Cleats, Shaun Alexander. Shaun, really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, brother. Go Hawks.